Hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is Brad with Goodfellas Paintball, based out of Indiana. One of the things I want to go over today is my TPX setup. All right, I have seen quite a few videos online about pistol play. I think a lot of them are great. The biggest one I've seen is Scout by Armor of God. Got some great videos on why pistol play is so fun and why it's so much more beneficial. So I would definitely recommend checking them out. I dip. Sorry if it offends anybody. One of the biggest things I wanted to go over that he didn't really hit up is how much cheaper pistol play is. Some of you newer guys might not like it as much. Okay, it's a little more frustrating, a little more challenging, but at the end of the day, if you don't have another option and you limit yourself to it, it's awesome. Okay, I say okay a lot also. Sorry. So one of the biggest things I want to go over is my vest setup. Okay, I've seen the one that Scout set up, and he has a great setup for the Tiberius firearms. TPX wise, I'm going to show you what I have and why. Okay, I'm also going to go over my pistols themselves. I have 4 of them. I have 2 set up for remote line, and I have 2 set up for straight cartridge. I'll go over some of the benefits of the cartridge and over some of the benefits of the remote line. Okay, but I'll go ahead and hit up the vest itself. One of the big reasons I got into paintball, hit this up real quick. Military, I've been in for, 10 years now. Infantry, I got stuck recruiting for 3 years. Not my biggest favorite moment in the Army, but it is what it is. I got to expand my knowledge of the Army and frankly hit up some stuff that I didn't know about. So later on in the video, if y'all want to know something about the Army or something like that, I'm not a recruiter anymore. I got no reason to give anybody any stray answers. So I love it. I've been in for 10 years. I know a thing or two. Been on 2 tours in Iraq, if you want to call it tours. Been 2.5 years overseas, basically. So realistically, it's about 5 tours. So I love a lot of the military aspect that paintball has to offer, but I love the camaraderie. The camaraderie is like, I don't know, other than the military, it's one of the closest things I've found. So, aside from all that, and this isn't really paintball, promotion video, but aside from all that, I started playing. I went to a bachelor party actually, and first time I played paintball, I got my gun, rental gun, went out on the field, played the first game, went back inside, spent about $700-800 on paintball stuff, got my X7 and all that, and vest, and started playing from there. Eventually, I started getting my friends into it, and we made our own team. I'll go into my team later on. But after I started playing for a while, I realized that I tend to just sit back, and everybody's seeing those people that just sit back and bunker down and sling paint. I ended up being that guy, so I didn't want to be that guy. So I switched to pistols. Pistols for me is a lot more tactical than just slinging paint. You got your speed ballers and your scenario ballers that have their decked out whatevers, and they still sit back and don't really do much until there's a big push, and then everybody gets through. The pistol players and the pump players, I'll give it to the pump players too, are the guys who go in and start that push. You can argue if you want, but that's fine. From what I've seen, this is what the case is. So my personal favorite is the TPX. So we'll go into that. Pistol wise, there's a few pistols on the market. TPX, personally my favorite. A good friend of mine had a Tiberius. He liked it. I didn't like it that much because he couldn't keep track of how many balls he had shot out of each magazine. Okay, so for some of you who are just getting started in the pistol play, Tiberius Arms, they integrated their CO2 into their mags. Not a bad thing. Biggest problem there, you can't keep track of how many shots you've had out of each CO2 cartridge. So with my set, my vest setup, you can tell how many cartridges you've shot out of each one. Reason being. Alright, so I'll show you my vest real quick. Alright, so I have a TAC-10 RAP4 vest. Alright, now each cartridge with a TPX shoots about 3 mags. Okay, so I've got my 2 top mags, which obviously I have one in each gun if you want to run dually. If you don't want to run dually, guess what? You just got this many mags for one gun. Alright, which I usually do by now. But if you want to run cartridge, this is still a great vest setup. Alright, so you've got one in each, and you already know, okay, I've got one in, going to shoot the other 2. I need to reload my cartridge, and I move on to my next line. Okay? So, all in all, I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 mags. Alright? With all these mags, makes it pretty easy to stay on the field for a long time. Anybody that shoots pistol will tell you, like, you are going to be out there for a while because you have to pick and choose your shots. The best part about pistol play is that you can stay on the field for an extended period of time, even with a limited amount of paint. Okay, some guys will run, between 2 and like 8 mags. I'm a big fan of running more. Okay, if you want to run more paint and you're on these scenario fields where it's between 2 and 4 hours, 5 hours on the field, and you want to stay on it the whole time, you'd be surprised how light this load is and be able to still stay out there. So what I actually do is I'll run a backup bag. This was military issued. I'm sure you can find something like it. Go on Google, eBay, or something. I can carry extra pods in here, extra tanks in here. Okay, so very nice. I'll show you how that hooks on later. Okay, but all in all, you want extra paint. It's the way it goes. All right. Best benefit of this is you don't have to carry like 11. Whatever. On my X7 vest, I carry 11 pods. You don't have to carry a lot of pods. Okay, you can carry this and like 1 or 2 extras to refill all of these like twice or 3 times. So with this, I'm going to go into some of my side pouches. I've got my pouch here, non-firing hand, that's my rag to clean off, squeegee, everything I need in there. Alright, next to that, I have my dump pouch. Alright, my dump pouch, I can actually hook this on to my BDU pants because I sewed and integrated this clip. So, one of the biggest benefits there is that you don't have to worry about it bouncing around while you're running around on the field. And as long as you're not diving around and doing anything really crazy, I've never lost a mag. So that's one of the best bets there. On my firing hand, if I'm taking my hand off my gun, I'm reaching into this pocket to grab something more useful. Alright, my smoke grenade pouch. This is one of the biggest things I use. Tack-wise, tack smokes, you can fit about 5 in here. And big boys, if you use the bigger boys, you can fit about 2 of them in there. Alright, so all my pouches are full clip. Full clip, great. One of the biggest things, they switched basically from military to paintball. They're trying to branch out a little bit. So, military grade stuff. And extremely awesome. Like, very good quality. It doesn't fray and, all the stuff that your standard, RAP4, I don't want to down RAP4, but RAP4 and stuff like that, it frays and starts to, lose you start pulling threads out and stuff like that. So anyways, very good quality. Backside, got 2 radio pouches here. Alright, actually, I got my earbuds here. I have my talking buttons up front. Okay, so I can just lean down to the left or lean down to the right, and there's a button on the side I push, talk. Awesome. I love them. Earbuds work great. Some people like independent radios. Independent radios aren't bad. Okay, the biggest thing I find there is that if there's a lot of stuff going on, I usually can't hear what's going on. So I like the earbuds a little better. These fit the most comfortable I've ever found. If you want more information, let me know. But all in all, I prefer my radio pouches on the back. Stays out of the way. Basically it for me. So, my biggest thing with dualies, I run my dually pouch back here. Alright, show you a good shot of that. Alright, so usually I'll only use this when my main's down. I'll just reach back with my left hand, unclick it, pull it out, it's good to go. So, again, full clip pouches. All of my pouches are full clip. Pouches kind of hard to get, but you know what? They're entirely worth it. So feel free to look them up, and if you got to wait in line or look on Google or something, feel free to do it because they are awesome. So going back to my external pouch, carrying extra pods if you have time to reload on the field. All right. I have a sewn-in strap right here. I can just click this in, and this also has a waist strap. So I have it clicked into my pouch right here. I'll show you. Yeah, right there. All right. So clip it in there, and I actually have a external waist pouch that I can carry my extra tanks or my extra pods, and stay on the field that much longer. Carry extra water in there too. So for all of you cartridge users, if you don't like remote lines, entirely fine. I went through my phase of that. Biggest thing I can suggest, go online. Find a shotgun shell holder. Alright, this one's a bifold. Alright, awesome. Used them multiple times, worked out great. Fits right underneath the armpit, and I can set my arms down, not a problem. Okay, and all I have to do is reach down, and obviously it'll be hooked to the vest. Pull it open, pull out a cartridge, close it up, and then I can load up my cartridge. I'm good to go. So I don't remember which company this is from. I can look it up, but if you Google it, you can find one. The bifold ones were great just for the simple fact that they fit so comfortably. They're not bulky even when it's loaded up, and you can just pull that bad boy out and pull your cartridge out and then close it back up. Alright, so works great. Myself personally, I use a drop leg holster for my main. Show you there. Again, full clip, just like my back holster is full clip. Moving on to the gun. Alright. My TPX, I've modified a little bit. I actually have an APEX2 attached to this bad boy. Looks pretty sweet. Suppressor look, but on top of that, anybody that's using Apex, you can vouch for the fact that it's awesome. Alright, firing flatline shots, straight line shots, whatever you want to call it. Alright, works great. Okay, you'd be surprised how many times I get chronoed on the field and like funny looks from guys across the field that are mad that they just got picked off by a pistol across the field and they're, you know, laying paint. So barrel wise, I love the barrel. I have to modify the catch a little bit. You can see that it's, let's show you there, a little snug there. Biggest thing I need to do, grind that down. That way I can actually pull this off on the field if I need to squeegee it. Funny enough, I'm not had many breaks with this, so I've not really had that problem. But for now, I use my wrench to pull it off on the field if I need to. So I actually stick it into the holes that are here and unscrew it, and then I can pull it off on the field, squeegee it. But this Apex is like awesome. You can get extended barrels that you're not this tight with the Apex. Me personally, I like the suppressed look, so I kind of went with this versus the extended barrel, and then the Apex past that. So remote line wise, my remote line I love. You can go through all your clips and not have to worry about reloading your CO2s. Some guys like the independence and freedom of a non-remote lined TPX. Biggest thing I've found with my remote line, there's no pouch on the back of my vest right now because I'm currently trying to modify a shoulder harness that will run straight down. So I won't have any issues with trying to get my remote line around. When I was running into problems before, it was because I was trying to pull my remote line around and there was so much tension that I was actually having air leaks here. So biggest problem that I've seen with the remote line on the back tank holder is that when you're pulling it around, you tend to have leaks. And I tried quite a few things, clamps and tape and everything else. But all in all, the biggest thing I've realized is that you can, and later on I'll show a modification for the shoulder because I've already got the idea in mind. If you guys want to see it, then there will be a shoulder modification that you can add one of your smaller Ninja, like 22 CI or 20 CI or 19 CI or whatever it is, tanks that will actually go down the shoulder and direct feed, so that, you know, even if I holster it, everybody's remote line is long enough usually that you can even holster it if you need to. So one of the best things I've found about it is that it's kind of a pain if you don't set up your kit right, but if you set up your kit right, I wouldn't trade those for anything. I'm shooting as far as anybody with, you know, my X7. I've got an APEX2 on that. I'm shooting the same with this as I am with that. So again, with the pistol play, if you've got the patience, one of the best things you can do. Even without this Apex, my straight other, my other one that's set up for a remote line is very beneficial. Biggest thing about remote line is you don't have to worry about air. So don't worry about those CO2 cartridges. Yeah, they're cheap, but they're a pain in the butt trying to change on the field. So all in all, if you want to look into this, please do. If you want any comments, concerns, questions, if you want to voice any of that stuff on my page, feel free. All in all, pistol play, trust me, buddy, aside from this, come on, that's awesome. Aside from this, is extremely awesome. So if you want tactics, you want technique, if you want to be a little bit more scout and a little less sling and paint and being the guy on the machine gun versus, you know, the guy on the sniper rifle, look into pistol play. So again, check out Scout from Armor of God. Great videos. Goes into a lot of the benefits. All right. Side note, if you have anybody physically handicapped, look into Goodfellas on Facebook, and you'll see Joe. Joe is a great guy. He's born with no legs, half an arm. Loves playing paintball. All right. Anything he's found in his life, I've known him since middle school. Anything he's found in his life that he wants to do, we usually find a way for him to do it. So I've realized personally that it's one of the things I love to do. So if you have anybody that's physically handicapped that is wanting to get into the sport of paintball or wanting to get into anything that you're not really sure how to start, then please drop me a line and let me know. I would love to help out, throw out ideas, or start some type of, I guess, group that we can all figure out how they can get into doing what they're doing. Because I saw Joe picked up, and you know, Joe hit an all-time low, and paintball being his out, like, you should see him light up every time we go into these events, and it's great, and I love it, and I want other people to have that chance to do these things. So if you want to throw anything like that out there, let me know. Thanks again. Have a good one.